Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Jonathan Lipnicki is an American actor and producer who first gained widespread fame as a child star in the 1990s. Born on October 22, 1990, in Westlake Village, California, he quickly became a household name with his breakout role in Jerry Maguire, 1996, where he played Ray Boyd, the adorable son of Renée Zellweger's character. His big glasses, witty one-liners, and natural screen presence made him one of the most recognizable child actors of his generation. Following his early success, Lipnicki starred in several family-oriented films, including Stuart Little, 1999, and its 2002 sequel, Stuart Little 2, where he played George Little, the human brother to the animated mouse. He also appeared in The Little Vampire, 2000, a fantasy film that earned him international popularity, and Like Mike, 2002, a basketball comedy with rapper Bow Wow. These roles cemented his image as a charming, wide-eyed child star with a knack for connecting with young audiences. As he grew older, Lipnicki faced the common challenge many child actors encounter, transitioning into adult roles. After taking a step back from Hollywood for some years, he re-emerged with a focus on independent films and more mature projects. Determined to prove himself as a serious actor beyond his childhood fame, his later credits include appearances in indie features, television roles, and producing projects that allowed him to exercise creative control. Outside of acting, Jonathan Lipnicki has been outspoken about his struggles with anxiety and bullying during his teenage years. Using his platform to raise awareness about mental health, he is also a passionate advocate for animal rights and has supported various charitable causes, especially those centered around rescue animals. In recent years, Lipnicki has leaned into both acting and producing, balancing his career with personal passions such as martial arts. He is trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and has even competed in tournaments. His resilience, humility, and determination have helped him shed the child star label and redefine himself as an adult performer with staying power. Jonathan Lipnicki's story is a fascinating example of early fame, personal struggle, and reinvention. After the huge success of Jerry Maguire, where he stole scenes alongside Tom Cruise and Renée Zellweger, Lipnicki became one of the most sought-after child actors of the late 1990s and early 2000s. His trademark, big glasses, spiky blonde hair, and innocent, wise beyond his years persona, was instantly recognizable. In addition to Stuart Little and The Little Vampire, he guest-starred in popular TV shows like Dawson's Creek and The Jeff Foxworthy Show. By the age of 12, he had already appeared in multiple box office hits that grossed hundreds of millions worldwide. However, unlike some of his peers who seamlessly transitioned into teen heartthrob roles, Lipnicki found it difficult to fit into Hollywood's expectations as he got older. Casting directors who once saw him as the quintessential, adorable kid, struggled to envision him in teenage or young adult roles. He later revealed that he endured bullying in school and within the industry, which contributed to his battles with anxiety and self-doubt. At one point, he even stepped away from Hollywood to focus on his personal growth and education. In adulthood, Lipnicki carved out a unique path. He gravitated toward independent films, taking on darker and more complex roles that contrasted sharply with the wholesome characters of his youth. Projects like For the Love of Money, 2012, Loserville, 2016, and Boone, The Bounty Hunter, 2017, gave him opportunities to expand his range. Though these films were not major studio blockbusters, they marked an important step in his evolution as a performer. Beyond acting, Lipnicki is deeply committed to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, in which he has earned a black belt. He has competed in tournaments, demonstrating a level of discipline and dedication that parallels his work ethic in Hollywood. This passion also shaped his image as an adult. Fans often remark on the striking transformation from the bespectacled child star to a fit, martial arts-trained adult actor. Philanthropy has also been central to his life. He has worked with the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, the Starlight Children's Foundation, and various animal rights organizations. Lipnicki has said that giving back provides him with perspective and purpose outside of the entertainment industry. Today, Jonathan Lipnicki is respected not only as a former child star who charmed millions but also as someone who confronted the challenges of early fame with honesty and resilience. While he may not headline blockbuster films as he once did, his willingness to reinvent himself, take risks with indie projects, and speak openly about mental health has earned him admiration. He embodies the idea that Hollywood careers are not always linear, and that authenticity, persistence, and growth matter just as much as early stardom. Jonathan Lipnicki's life and career form a remarkable arc, from one of Hollywood's most recognizable child stars to a thoughtful, self-aware adult navigating both personal challenges and professional reinvention. Early stardom and impact. When Jerry Maguire premiered in 1996, audiences were instantly captivated by the 6-year-old Lipnicki, who delivered unforgettable lines like, "Did you know the human head weighs 8 pounds?" His natural comedic timing, expressive eyes, and fearless chemistry with Tom Cruise gave him a credibility rare for child actors. Almost overnight, he became a pop culture phenomenon, appearing on talk shows, in magazines, and even being named one of People's Most Beautiful People as a child. He built on that fame with Stuart Little and The Little Vampire, both of which became family favorites. His roles at this time represented innocence, imagination, and childhood wonder. Unlike many child stars, he avoided scandals, maintaining a wholesome reputation that endeared him to parents as much as children. Career transition. But as Lipnicki grew older, Hollywood grew less certain about where he fit in. The adorable kid image that had worked so well didn't transition easily into adolescence. By the mid-2000s, he was largely absent from mainstream movies, though he continued working in smaller projects. Later, he explained that he had taken time away to grow as a person, to rediscover who he was outside of being famous. In adulthood, he deliberately pursued smaller, independent projects that let him experiment with new kinds of characters. Unlike his child star roles, these films often showed him in grittier or edgier contexts. He also moved into producing, giving himself more creative control and learning the business side of entertainment. Personal life and transformation. One of the most striking aspects of Jonathan Lipnicki's story is his physical transformation. The once slight child star grew into a muscular, tattooed adult, heavily involved in martial arts. Earning a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, he competed in tournaments and developed a reputation for discipline and toughness. This change surprised fans who remembered him as the bespectacled little boy from Jerry Maguire. He has also spoken candidly about struggles with anxiety and bullying, admitting that being a child star made him a target in school. Instead of hiding those experiences, he has shared them to raise awareness about mental health. His openness has made him a relatable figure for people who admired him as a child and respect him now as an adult who has embraced authenticity. Philanthropy and outlook. Lipnicki's charitable work is an important part of his identity. He has long supported animal welfare causes, including rescue shelters and animal rights campaigns. Additionally, he has worked with organizations helping children with serious illnesses, keeping a connection to the values he embraced during his early fame. In interviews, he has emphasized that he doesn't measure success by blockbuster fame alone. Instead, he values personal growth, creative fulfillment, and living authentically. He views Hollywood with clear eyes, acknowledging its challenges but also appreciating the opportunities it gave him. Legacy: Jonathan Lipnicki may always be remembered first as Ray Boyd, the wide-eyed kid in Jerry Maguire, but his story carries weight far beyond that. He represents resilience, the ability to reinvent oneself, to face down anxiety and industry rejection, and to find strength in new passions. His career trajectory demonstrates that fame at a young age doesn't have to define an entire life, and that with persistence, one can carve out a meaningful second act. Childhood and breakthrough: Jonathan William Lipnicki was born in Westlake Village, California, to Joseph and Rhonda Lipnicki. He grew up in a Jewish household with his sister, Alexis. His parents were supportive but not Hollywood insiders, which made his early fame all the more striking. His first audition was for a cereal commercial, and not long after, he landed the role in Jerry Maguire, 1996. At only 6 years old, he held his own against Tom Cruise, one of the biggest stars in the world, and charmed audiences globally. The film's critical and commercial success turned him into a cultural icon. In the years that followed, Lipnicki became a fixture in family entertainment. Stuart Little, 1999, showcased his warmth and ability to act alongside CGI characters, a challenge for any young performer. The Little Vampire, 2000, filmed in Scotland, was a fantasy adventure that gave him international recognition, especially in Europe. With Like Mike, 2002, he worked alongside Bow Wow and NBA stars, further broadening his appeal. By the age of 12, Lipnicki had appeared in films grossing over $700 million worldwide. The in-between years, the transition from child actor to teen actor, is notoriously difficult. And Lipnicki was not spared. Casting directors often couldn't reconcile the cute boy from Jerry Maguire with the young teen he was becoming. Roles dried up, and he quietly stepped back from the mainstream spotlight. During this time, Lipnicki focused on his education, personal growth, and passions outside of acting. He studied Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu intensely, a discipline that would later become central to his adult identity. He also wrestled with anxiety, admitting later in interviews that he often felt inadequate compared to industry expectations. This period was less about fame and more about resilience. Unlike some child stars who spiraled, Lipnicki grounded himself, slowly preparing for a return to the craft he loved. Returned to acting in the 2010s, Lipnicki began to re-emerge. Not in big studio blockbusters but in indie films and television projects. This was a deliberate choice. He wanted roles that challenged him rather than simply trading on his childhood fame. Some notable later.
Bye bye. Thanks for watching.